Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you! Over.
Did you miss me? I guess not.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. My name is David Streggy, and here I have another review for you. This time is of a 1955 film called The Trouble with Harry, and it's directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and with a screenwriter by the name of John Michael Hayes, and Jack, evidently based on a novel by Jack Trevor Story of the same name. So the film stars Edmund Gwynn, John Forsyth, Mildred Natwick, Mildred Dunnock, Jerry Mathers, Royal Dano, Parker Fennelly, Barry McCollum, Dwight Marfield, and Shirley MacLaine. Apparently, in the middle of the woods is the dead body of a man. And what's interesting is that there is a an interesting cast of characters here. We have a Captain Albert Wiles, who has apparently been hunting where he shouldn't be, and he comes across the body of a man, which everyone in town knows who, or at least most people know who he is. And it just so happens to be Harry. I don't know his last name, but apparently no one seems to like him. So he thinks that he's shot him. So he starts to drag his body away, but people keep coming across the body. Apparently there's a little kid who goes back, gets his mother, shows her the body, and or something to that effect. Actually tries to show her the body, but the body's been moved. Then, of course, there's a vagrant who apparently takes the shoes just for the hell of it. That's the only thing he needs of the dead man. And then there is apparently a woman um, who the captain has never spoken to entirely, but seems to have some feelings for, who also seems to look at the dead body as like it was the most natural thing there. Apparently, everyone here is okay that this man is dead. So, what do they have to hide? And there is also an artist, a sketchist, a sketch artist, but his art is kind of out there, not exactly my taste, but evidently his art is the only art in the convenience store and the market place, and his art never seems to sell. Well, as the day plays on, each a person reminisces about um, the well, apparently the artist goes out, finds the dead body, sketches it, and comes across the captain, and they discuss, how to get rid of the body, so that maybe if they just don't tell no one and bury the body, no one will know anything of the sort or go looking for it. And they go through a series of arguments where they dig up the body, they rebury it, then they dig it up, and then they rebury it. And throughout the day, the captain gets a date. The artist starts to begin to have a relationship with the mother of the little boy who came around to look for the body of this man that had just been lying there. And all the while, apparently, the deputy sheriff, Kelvin Wiggs, seems to start to suspect something because of the finding this vagrant with these shoes, and he evidently had this preposterous, wild story that he'd gotten it off of a stiff. And he took him to the area where the stiff was, and he thought, oh, well, in any case, he came across the sketch, and apparently this tramp had sworn up and down that sketch of that dead man was in fact the man that he had seen and the man that he'd taken the shoes from. And it was just a weird concoction of people who had never spoken to each other, got to speak to each other, and relationships ballooned while death was near. And I'm not exactly sure if we ever figured out who killed whom, but it was an interesting mix of love found amongst the wrongdoings of man, and how people can just go on with their lives if someone is dead. I thought it was an interesting film, and to me, Alfred Hitchcock was a weird filmmaker to begin with, and I just wanted to mention that John Forsyth, who plays the artist in here, I believe his name is Sam Merlot in here. He also plays the American agent in Topaz from 1969 in in another of Alfred Hitchcock's films. That's one thing I forgot to mention in the previous one, but because this one is at least 14 years its senior. Um, I love the fact that there is an air of mystery, there is an air of comedy, and it's kind of like a comedy of errors. It's not that it's scary or even has any kind of a mystery going on. It seems kind of laughable at the moment, kind of a thing. I mean, what kind of a town just allows a dead man just to lay there? In any case, I don't really pay attention to all the honoraries and awards and all that jazz that has to do with the Academy. I really could care less. They often get things wrong, anyways, at the Academy and the Grammys and all that jazz. But if you wanted to look them up, they're probably out there. In any case, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the interesting cast of characters. The fact that uh, the comic relief between the younger man and the older gentleman who played the captain, Edmund Gwenn, and John Forsyth just seemed to um, build off of each other and their relationships between the women that they appear to begin to love, um, in the spite of crisis is priceless. If you get my drift. So in any case, thank you for listening. Have a let's see. Uh, so the film was filmed in Morrisville, Vermont, Barry, Vermont, Craftsbury Common, Vermont, and Paramount Studios in 5555 Melrose Avenue, California, Los Angeles, California, USA, in the studio. So, um, other than that, oh, and let's see, the young mother. I believe the young. Oh, and just so happens that someone eventually bought a millionaire bought the art of Mr. Marlowe somewhere in the mix. Was played by Parker Fennelly, who was also in The Whistle at Eaton Falls, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, The Kettles on Old MacDonald's Farm, and so on and so forth. How to Frame a Fig in 1971. He played old Charlie Spaulding. But he also played Mr. Purdy in Headmaster, a series from 1970. He played Kelvin Gray in Angel in My Pocket, Sam Joyles in Pretty Poison. So, in any case, as far as the music goes in this film, let's see. The music was by Bernard Herrmann, and he lived from about 1911 to 1975. And he was the composer behind Citizen Kane, The Day the Earth Stood Still, also behind Vertigo and Taxi Driver. So, It's Alive 3, Grizzly 2, The Revenge, The Night Digger, Twisted Nerve, Torn Curtain, one of the episodes of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. He was the conductor on Cape Fear from 1962, Mysterious Island from 1961. He was the conductor of the London Symphony Orchestra and the orchestrator for there. Uh, he was the conductor of the London Symphony Orchestra and orchestrator for the Three Worlds of Gulliver, who was the conductor and the orchestrator in Psycho. He was the conductor and the music arranger and the orchestrator in North by Northwest. He was somewhat behind the music of The Naked and the Dead, The Fiend Who Walked the West, The Law, and Jacob Wade. Let's see. The Wrong Man, The Egyptian, Garden of Evil, King of Khyber Rifles, Beneath the 12-Mile Reef, White Witch Doctor, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, Five Fingers on Dangerous Ground, Ghost and Mrs. Muir, Anna and the King of Siam, Hangover Square from 1945, The Falcon in Mexico, Jane Eyre from 1943, The Magnificent Ambersons, The Devil and Daniel Webster, and so on and so forth. So those are some, oh, and Fahrenheit 51. So he was the conductor behind Fahrenheit 451. But It's Alive from 1974, and It's Alive 3. So The Jewel of Death, The Fear, The Poster, Meat short film. Anyways, so thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate your time spent here on my page. Definitely check out some of my other reviews. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Maybe you can use it as a somewhat of a companion piece. Thank you so much. Just enjoy the rest of your evening, day, or morning. And thank you so much. I just enjoy talking about these films.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?